Where was this picture taken anyway? That's where you could start. Is that what base were you in? Boot camp or where?
Oh, that was, I had that picture taken when I just getting out of boot camp, and they gave me a leave, and I went home. And then while I was there in the uniform for the first time, I had this picture taken. And I had it ever since. You can see the difference in our hair. So, Margaret, you had this
Oh,
one.
me. Oh, this was taken in Brooklyn, 1947. And look at the hair.
I'm Norman Hanney. I was born in Clinton, Massachusetts, and I joined the Marines when I was up at the age of 19.
I was a cashier at the rec hall, and Norman came in. On the way out, he paid his bill, and he asked me if he could walk me home. And home was 2 feet away to the barracks where the employees lived. And that went on a couple of years. Went to St. John's a couple of times. Dances at the Marine Corps, and snowstorms galore. And in June of 1945, the war was over, and my papers were being completed, and I emigrated to the United States, New Bedford, Massachusetts. And 6 months later, Norman came home, and we saw each other for about 3 months. And then he went his way, and I went mine. And I never mentioned his name again. He went home to his little cottage in Conception Harbor, and on the way back, he stopped for a newspaper and a cup of coffee. And I go in where you get the coffee, and I ask the 2 women were talking. I says, where's the sweet and low for the coffee? And this woman says, over here. So I said, you mind if I ask where you're from? She says, no, from Fox Harbor. So I said, gee, I went with a girl in Fox Harbor. And she says, oh, you did? What was her name? I said, Margaret Murray. And she says, Margaret Murray? And she stared. She says, I'm Margaret Murray. I said, not you, honey, you're too young for me. She says, no, but that's my aunt. And I almost hit the floor. And the lady waiting on him turned out to be my niece. And he struck up a conversation with her, and she told him all about me, and they took his phone number. And the next day she called me, and she says, do you know anyone by the name of Norman Hanney? I said, is he alive? He's still alive? So I said, yeah. I said, you know what? I was thinking about him the other day. It's true. So I'm telling everybody, my friends in the park, I'm going to keep this guy waiting now. I'm not calling for a couple of weeks. I called, and he's coming in the door. And I picked it up. I said, hello. She said, you know who this is? I said, you sound like an Irish Newfoundlander. And she says, I said, yeah, I'm the one you dumped. I said, I didn't dump you, like that. So we talked for about 3 hours. And after that, he said, maybe you could take the knife out of my back and give me your phone number. So we talked on the phone almost every night. And then New Year's of 2003, I came down for the weekend. And then I came for holidays and
Then in June of 2003, we left for Newfoundland. And up there, we caused a big uproar. We took pictures and stories and was on the front page. And we did that for 3 summers.
Right after that, we got together and I said, well, I'm living alone. If you want to come down and live with me, I said, it's all right. So that's what happened.
His sister Gert is 97 now, and she's in a nursing home in Massachusetts. So after we're shacking up for 2 years, she says to Norman, Norman, Ma and Pa wouldn't like what you're doing. He says, what am I doing? He says, you're living together, she says. I think you should get married. So he says, well, I'll ask Margaret.
Yeah, so
he called
God
me
bless her, she meant right.
Yeah.
That's the way my mother would say.
She called him for the ICU, and he says to me,
live together with a woman unless you marry her.
Yeah.
You know?
I said, you want to marry me? She said, yes, I always did. And here we are today, up in Tom's River.